The training on mainstreaming gender to the alignment process, it was a training whereby it was targeted at equipping legal officers, law advisors, such that through their process of aligning laws to the new constitution of Zimbabwe, they are gender sensitive and they find ways to ensure that all genders are catered for. We try to ensure that laws ensure or are aware of gender issues through their language, what they mean, the composition. So it's a way of ensuring that gender issues are catered for and that both genders, male and female, are given the same rights. There's a need for us to have the alignment process done. The reason is that the new constitution brought in a new provisions, various provisions, and then these provisions need to be synchronized with the existing acts, or maybe at times maybe the constitution then provides for new acts that need to be there. So an alignment process is a way of synchronizing or trying to merge the two to ensure that the constitution is the one that takes precedence over the inconsistent laws. What quickly comes into my mind is Section 80 of the Constitution, which speaks to the rights of women, and maybe more specifically Section 80 subsection 3, whereby it spells out that all customs, traditions, practices that violates women, they therefore become inconsistent or they avoid to the extent that they violate women's rights. Now you'd find that this section, in as much as then it gives women the rights that practices or cultures or traditions are thereby seen as void, the problem now comes in the implementation process. I can give you an example. What might quickly come to my mind is, for instance, Yatinoti Pachishona, the Rora. You'd find that it's a tradition and it's a custom, but then you'd find that it continuously then reinforces the patriarchal nature of our society. And at times it is actually like the root of how women's rights are violated. But then you would find that the Constitution has given the provision, but then it now becomes problematic in the sense that not many people will be willing to challenge that provision because it forms part of us, the African or the Zimbabwean people. So yes, women have been given these rights, but in terms of practice, it becomes difficult to implement. What also comes into my mind, I'll give you an example for the issue whereby the prohibition of child marriages. We'd find that now, since the Constitutional Court judgment of January 2016, you'd find that, yes, it has prohibited child marriages, but we also need to also focus on the social issues or the social problems that were not dealt with that judgment. The social issues are like, for instance, your daughter or a child who's under the age of 18 years. She has fallen pregnant. And for instance, maybe the other partner is above age, he's 18 years or he's 18 years. Now, since the judgment, as it is working together with the Constitution, it's outlawing for that child to get married. But Panama social issues that are there. The social issues in the sense that means that she can then stay at home and maybe, because she's protected by the law, from being forced into a marriage. But then won't it then generate a certain caliber of men who would then continuously look for underage girls to impregnate them, because then they're able to circumvent the responsibilities of getting married to them. So yes, the Constitution, it brought in something that is good, but on the social side of it, it gives problems. I think maybe they still need for research and maybe possibly legislation to cater and correct that anomaly.